right. Well, good evening, everybody. I hope you're all excited to be here. We're excited to be talking to you all about something that we're really passionate about. Um, we've titled this Treat Your Body as an Investment because you guys are all part of this community because you're really passionate about taking your money and using it and really growing it. And we're really passionate about health and using your health as an asset, just the way you grow your money. We really feel that your body is a integral part of your success, that as you become healthier, you also experience growth in business and success. And so to start things off, we have to say that this isn't medical advice. My wife is a certified nutritionist. We're not doctors, but everything we talk about tonight is practices that we do ourselves. We're very passionate about our health, ourselves and our health. And, everything you see and hear is a product of, the last 10 years of our lives.
And not just our life. So there's a combination, of course, of everything that we tried here. We tried on ourselves, made a lot of mistakes. I cried on the bathroom floor from mistakes I made. And of course, this is the shortcut. This is the best things. And of course, after working with thousands of people, with all my clients, I took all of the experience because everybody's very unique. So I took the best parts, and now in my system, I use only the best. And of course, the system is unique, but it absolutely can work for anyone because we eliminated mistakes and made it as simple and fun and easy as possible.
Right. You guys aren't here just to learn how to invest. Like, there are a lot of different ways to invest, a lot of platforms you can use. You want to learn how to grow your money fast. And we feel that health is also something that can come. It can really return to your life faster than I think a lot of people are talking about.
Yeah, it's amazing how when you become a leader of your own body, when you take responsibility for your body, everything just takes, you becoming leader everywhere, in your relationships, in your money, in everything that's around you. It's like everything gets into its place. So I really believe connect to your soul, connect to your brain, connect to your money, connect to your relationship. It all starts with your body because you're becoming the leader.
Yeah, so think about it. When you came into this world, you only had one piece of property, only one object that you could call your own, and that was your body. And really, every dollar you make, every relationship every connection is all a product of your body. And so just the same way you'd invest in a house or an apartment complex or a fund, are you investing in your body? Is it serving you to the best of its ability? And think about ways that you can start making that happen. So we'll introduce kind of our health journey and also our unique strategy, which, I mean, we've been doing this for a while. And even with all the mentors Elisa's had, courses, certifications, we've never seen other people doing it quite the way we do. So it all started about 10 years ago now, when we were healthy 30-year-olds, right? You go to the doctor, you say, I'm not feeling so well. Do you have any idea what's going on? No, of course they don't. Tests are all normal. You're perfectly fine, but you don't feel fine. And
yes, one thing I want to say now when I do the lab tests and I work with the best labs in United States, hands down, and I work with the functional medicine testing, and I can tell you that tests that you do in your friendly neighborhood doctor's office is totally different from the test you do with us functional medicine practitioners. And of course, none of the tests show 100% what's going on with your body. Absolutely not. Maybe 60 is the most.
Yeah, yeah, you want a lot of different tests. Like there's no just one test that's going to give you a whole picture. Think of it like a photograph, how much you're missing the perspective. You really need to get multiple angles to get a good idea of what's going on. And that's where we were. We were 30-year-olds who wanted to have children. And, I was just absolutely chronically fatigued, especially on the weekends. Like I could barely do anything. I was actually running a software business up in Portland, Oregon with a friend, and we were, doing business all week, nonstop. And on the weekends, I was just beat. And my wife, we went to doctors, and I'll let you talk some about that.
About your fatigue or
No, about, yeah,
well, the children, right? So, how many of you been in a doctor's office? Maybe you've been in this situation, and they tell you, well, we checked the blood, everything seems fine, and you're like, hold on right there. So you're telling me I can't have children? My hair is falling out. I look like I'm 50 years old, but I'm 29. I have all the tummy aches. I'm bloated all the time. My skin is horrible. I used to be covered in acne. All of these, and I am a healthy woman. So something doesn't work in here. And you've probably been in this situation that you're seemingly healthy and you look at other people, they're seemingly healthy. But if you dig a little bit deeper, you know that in the morning, I remember that I used to sleep 12 hours and I would wake up fatigued and I'm already done. What kind of business, children, anything, relationships you're talking
yeah,
about because you're chronically hungry, angry, and fatigued. So, and then when I was sitting there and they told me, I'm not on top of this cherry on top of like, you're not going to have children. Your option is IVF, your option is endometriosis surgery. This is pretty big inflammatory problem, chronic immune problem with the ladies. Long story short, then I found out that I have 5 chronic illnesses. After they told me I was healthy, I had to dig myself. I don't want to stop, like make it too long. I worked with the naturopaths, I worked with the functional medicine doctors, and I realized I couldn't work from fertility medication. I said, okay, this is the rock bottom. I can't do this no more. So then I stopped everything. And after that, of course, I didn't just change my body type from that apple shaped, right? Now my body is totally different. I had 2 beautiful children naturally. I cured, well, I don't know if I cured, but all my tests showed and no symptoms that I reversed these chronic illnesses from endometriosis to PCOS to IBS. Like all of it is different. My face is different. My
yeah,
energy is different. Now we wake up at 6 a.m. We meet the sunrise. We go to the gym. We run our business. We have 2 children. We have 2 dogs.
yeah.
It's crazy here. And I always say you don't need to eliminate stressors outside of you, like everybody says. You need to start from inside. The biggest stressors, the biggest problems, they're inside. And it's pretty simple. And we're going to show you.
Yeah, yeah. So when you work with practitioners like us, the classic symptoms don't really apply. Things like you feel tired when you wake up, you can't eat the foods you used to. These aren't just part of getting older, they're really symptoms. And so I'm sorry about the before picture. We didn't really take before pictures. And the cameras from 10 years ago, turns out, don't take very good pictures. So, yeah,
I have
that's
a
what
good
we
one on
got.
Instagram I showed to everybody, but being a Russian girl, I just went there and deleted all my old pictures. I regret it now because I can show really juicy, I could show really juicy pictures, but oh well.
Yeah. So, how do we go about health then? And for my wife, it really started with her as a child. She was out in her village with her grandmother picking herbs in the forest. And a lot of that, you didn't really think about
Well, since
until,
yes, I didn't think about it. Then, they tell you what they want from you, like your parents, the society, everything. So I got my master's degree in linguistics, but I
right.
always had passion for medicine, for herbs, for psychology. And now, not only I changed my health at 30, I changed
Yeah.
and I had my
Well,
third career. So everything
yeah.
is possible.
You
Absolutely.
go to the doctors and they say, well, there's nothing we can do, maybe there are surgeries. And you're thinking, oh, when I was a kid, people didn't have surgery. They tried all these other things and, these ancient,
Yes, yes,
yeah,
absolutely. This is my approach. So I combine functional medicine and wisdom, like thousands and thousands year old wisdom of the herbs. Like you go to this
right.
old lady and she has all of her herbs on the string. So this is me. I'm not old and I don't have these herbs.
Yeah.
Now I use, of course, modern methods, but we absolutely combine the best.
Yeah. Well, we take the best from everything. There are staggering advances in science. Tests you can use, stuff that gives you insight into how your body is behaving. And then there's a ton of traditional medicine. It's thousands of years old, and things that we think about these days as, not having solutions, there are things you can use. And at the end of the day, everybody's unique. And so it's about trusting your body. And if something's not working for you, that's fine. There are so many options.
Yeah, totally.
So, and why go with a nutritionist? Well, we like to talk about your digestion as really being your true heart. Like, if you think about where your body comes from, every 8 years ago, 8 years or so, your body totally renews itself with new cells, new material that is completely new. You're being rebuilt at the atomic level constantly. And all of this starts with what you eat. And so when you start noticing things like you can't eat what you used to, um, this is actually something you should pay attention to.
Yes, absolutely. And before you become diabetic, and you go to doctor and they tell you, "Whoops, here's your medication." You can be 10 years. You have 10 years of insulin resistance. It's when your cell doesn't get the hormones in. So it's your thyroid. This is your insulin. When you eat something, like I have to have something sweet, or when you can't stop eating.
Yeah,
All of
food
these has
cravings.
inflammations. Yes, food cravings, and it's very important. And people just like brush it off, thinking, "Oh, women us, it's our hormones, it's normal." No, it's not. You are the master of your body. And the cravings is like, you'll find out what the cravings is, and how for example, parasites, well, we'll talk about it, manipulate our hormones, neurotransmitters. And absolutely every organ has a role. People are so fast to go do the surgery on, they think something not important. But when I say, for example, liver is your bodyguard. It's your best friend. When liver goes down, everything goes down. Sometimes I call myself liver girl, because when you nourish, people walking around thinking with liver working probably like 30%, a lot of us. So if you look at yourself, if you look at your body, even if you're not a big person, but you have like this little belly fat and it's like you have a spare tire, it means your liver doesn't take your glucose, your food, and not converting it to energy, it's converting it to triglycerides, to fat. That means your organs surrounded with visceral fat that makes its own estrogen. And the guy's thinking like, where's my libido? Why I'm not the same as 30 years old anymore? And this is saying this is normal as age. No, honey, this is not age. This is your liver, and it's absolutely fixable, and you can feel and have the libido and have the body like you are 30 again. Guarantee it.
Yeah, so a lot of things like, 30 years ago, they thought ulcers were just incurable. It was just something, oh, it's stress. Your stomach is starting to get holes in it. You need to take
And now
it
we
easy.
know it's
It's
just a little
bacteria. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's eating holes in your stomach, and you take antibiotics and it heals. Um, Similar to that, like your gallbladder, your spleen, your pancreas, your kidneys, people have appendicitis and lose their appendix. We treat these things as like minor inconveniences, like it's something that just happens, but actually it's a big part, a big warning sign. So, as traders, you guys hopefully are familiar with resistance and know how to spot it. And we see a lot people experiencing resistance in their life and with their body. So they go to the gym, they don't see the results they want. They go on a diet, they stop eating, but they don't lose weight. All these things happen that they're wondering, well, how can this be? Like, what am I missing here? And so our focus is really on creating your body to be limitless, that there's a real magic inside of you
Absolutely.
that we don't totally understand yet. Even with all the science, all the studies, all of the models, the modern world is really afraid of things it doesn't understand. And so anytime you get into these gray areas where people aren't sure what's going on or the tests can't tell, they just pretend it doesn't exist. They want to close their eyes and move along. And so that leads into what is age, really? Like, how do you define age? One of the things that we're really focused on is staying young. And I think from our pictures, you'd probably agree that after 10 years, we don't look 10 years older than we did.
No, I was
Yeah.
10 years younger. I feel 10 years younger.
Yeah.
I'm not in perimenopause anymore. I was at 29. Oh, that was crazy.
Right. And so there's this whole sorts of stress that people aren't really talking about. And that's the stress inside of your body that's coming from a number of different sources, some of which are parasites, infections.
And you'll find out when you talk about parasites, it's just like an umbrella term. We mean the yeast, the fungus, the bacteria, which some of it, like strep bacteria, can be so damaging to the body. There are parasites, they're like one cell parasites that can do more damage to the body than like a bunch of worms that everybody was thinking when people are talking about parasites. So
Yeah.
parasites, all of the creatures that don't belong in your body.
And we have a whole webinar on that. Like each one of these slides could really be a whole
Yeah,
presentation.
but we don't want
So
to take too much of your time.
yeah, if you guys are loving what you're hearing, let our host know. We can come back and do a specific topic. Yeah. But you guys are taking your finances into your own hands. It's pretty stressful. Maybe you have family members who are saying, "Oh, you need to take it easy. You don't need to do this all yourself. You're killing yourself with stress." No, not at all. I think this is probably the most stressed we've ever been.
Yes, absolutely. We have probably 10x.
Yeah.
50 times more external stress, outside stress than we used to have when we were 30, before our children, right? Before the crazy family, my Russian parents here, and this is very annoying because they're waiting for their paperwork. So we have the full house. And we have our own business, and I have a lot of clients, and we have to like the markets. I go to different states and I talk, and it's like podcast. So much stress, and I woke up at 6, and now we're talking.
Yeah, we're happy to wake up. We jump out of bed and we're ready to go.
Because we removed internal stress. All the problems start in here and in here.
So there's this idea of the cycle of decline as you age. Like it's just a constant march towards end of life. And there's a real focus on managing symptoms, making you comfortable as you age. We don't accept any of that. We think that, there are stories of people, starting life, leaving the house and going on adventures at 80. There's so many stories out there of miraculous recoveries, healing, and
And we have so many adventures to live. We have so much money to make. I don't know.
Yeah,
You know,
right?
we have a life to live. That's why when people come to me and I'm like, you have to live your life. I can't take you on like deserted island, right? You have to live your life. You have to make your money. You have to be great. You have to find your passion, and you have to heal your body. So what do we need for it? Energy. That's why the most important part when people come to me is I help them to get that energy. Your immune system, your body, your life needs energy.
Yeah, and so we really believe that Western healthcare is starting to fail in a lot of ways, especially the last few years. It seems like there are a lot of questions about who are your doctors actually working for? Like, are they working for the hospital? Are they working for the pharma companies?
Yeah.
If the governor can revoke their license and get them tossed out for talking to you about certain things, how are they actually still able to serve your needs and desires?
You know, I was shadow banned on Instagram for 3 years
It's
for
crazy.
talking about, the modern
And,
virus.
surgery isn't a cheat code. Having your appendix out, gallbladder surgery, which a lot of your clients have had, like, they're treated as just, a natural thing, like hip replacements, knee replacements, stuff like that.
Can prevent this.
Right.
Absolutely.
As you think about like how quickly you can make money, think about how much just a day of recovery, not to mention like these surgeries that are considered like not that major or routine now, they do have a real physical cost. And guys like Gary Brecka will talk about how insurance companies
And
are
it's
like
disgusting.
just subtracting years off of your life when they see you have certain procedures done. And it's a real problem that nobody's talking about. So when you invest with a practitioner and service like us, you want a return. You want to see something for your money. I don't know if you feel your doctor is giving you the return you'd like, but we want you to know it really doesn't matter how old you are now.
Mm-mm.
It's time to get started. So you've had clients that
This is our sign.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had clients at 70 and 16. I mean,
From 16 to
it's
70.
there's a lot going on and a lot of problems that you can really get in front of the sooner you start. And like Gay, who lost 50
Yeah, and some of
pounds
them
at
it's so
70.
easy. Like I
Yeah.
had people who lose like 20, 30 pounds in 2 weeks. It's just insane what can happen. And it's it's just it's your decision. It's like what how can I live this life to the fullest? How I can make all the money? How can I be great? This is your thing. You start with your body. Absolutely amazing what kind of business ideas come to your brain when it's not fatigued, when it's not manipulated by yeast, when your hormones, neurotransmitters are not suppressed. It's a totally different reality.
So yeah, when you were a kid, you probably had an idea of what you were going to be when you grew up, an adventure you wanted to have, some goal you wanted to reach. And we really want to emphasize that it's not too late to get back to that. When I grew up, people were talking about being astronauts, exploring pyramids, finding lost civilizations. A lot of that magic people aren't talking about anymore. I'm not sure why, but we really want your body to be an instrument that lets you do what you want when you want it. So after you're done making money at the desk, you can go out and have the adventures.
Yeah, I'm integrating more and more of these like it's a psychology term, it's a somatic body, how your body actually affect somatic money. It's how your body affects your money, because some of your money stories, like, you probably work with a psychologist, or you're thinking about your beliefs and stuff, but a lot of your beliefs live in your body, and you can the fastest way to release the old stories that holding you in is through your body.
Yeah. So one of the first things we go for is energy. Like any time you're having trouble getting out of bed, or you have like an afternoon slump, or you're just hooked on energy drinks, all of that is a sign that things are moving along, that there are symptoms you need to take care of. And so there are people talking about the superhuman protocol with magnetism, light, oxygen. Sunlight is amazing. Getting outside is important. Um, and but there are a lot of ways to restore energy that go beyond this. And really, one of the first things we work on is getting you that childlike energy. And then better relationships. Like, we really want you to be the sexiest version of you. You can't buy a new birthday suit. You're stuck with what you've got. So you have to tailor it. It's in your hands. And like we talk about, cosmetic surgery is surgery. There, there are costs to having that done, not just financial.
Absolutely. And two things I want to emphasize. First, how much you can change your body. Like I said, the body type, the skin, the muscles, like how we look, it's absolutely different. And it adds the spiciness to a relationship, trust me. And the second thing is, how you snap at each other, how you becoming so more patient, like you can stop before you react, because again, these internal stressors, they don't affect your neurotransmitters anymore. They don't affect your brain anymore. I guarantee you, your relationships, the way you are, how you're showing up to the world is going to change when you start with your body. And the transformation happens so fast.
So here are a few of the people we mentioned earlier, and some that are new. So Colette, she's 48, and you'll hear from her in just a second. Although we didn't get the audio to work, you'll see. But she overcame a whole bunch of kind of chronic things that were bothering her. Gay started at 65. She lost almost 50 pounds, and people didn't even recognize her afterwards. Raul started at 70. He's got 3 kids. So we were able to restore his energy levels, get his testosterone back.
Got to run after
Yeah,
the little kids.
yeah, absolutely. So
And
here's
his own business.
The best version it's ever been. And it is literally the best version at 48 years old today. My body is in the best shape it's ever been.
And so this isn't an isolated case. My wife has worked one-on-one with dozens of women, and we've helped hundreds of people, some as clients, some just as contacts online, really see dramatic changes, and fast.
Yeah,
Faster
I'm very proud of all of my ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. So when we talk about investing, then we talk about risk. So we've talked about some of the risks like surgery, stresses. Understand that the internal stress that we're talking about is really something, it's inside your body, and it's keeping your natural health, it's holding your natural health back. So we've come up with this idea of the tree of life. Like, there's a foundational source of health inside of your body that's a constant, ongoing process. And it's really being sabotaged by a lot of things that people aren't talking about for whatever reason. So H. pylori, the bacteria we talked about earlier.
Yeah, imagine you're going, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well,
Imagine you're going, how many of you, like, heard this, or probably some people say, oh, maybe you one of them. You go into the gym, you're trying so hard. Not only you're not losing weight, it's so hard to gain muscle, and it's like you're eating, but you feel like you're not getting the energy. You're feeling like you don't getting the results in the gym. It's just one little bug that buries itself in your stomach lining and reducing your hydrochloric acid. And your hydrochloric acid, this is how you digest your proteins. So basically, these proteins, you don't digest them, you don't get your amino acids, and they get into your small intestine, sitting there and rotten. Imagine it's very hot, I'm sorry, in a small intestine, very hot, a lot of pressure, lots of iron.
Yeah.
And it's just running there, and there are lots of bacteria, lots of little tiny parasites, lots of yeast, that it's like a feast for them. They love undigested proteins. And all of these getting into your bloodstream, getting your lymph, 15 minutes, all the blood goes through your brain, through your thyroid, through your ovaries, through your prostate. No wonder we have all of this inflammation. When we look under microscope on this little blood, we see all of this soup brewing there. No wonder your immune system reacting to all of this. All thank you to our little friend,
And this process takes decades. So it's not really noticeable. I mean, it's
some people
not.
don't have the symptoms.
Yeah, it doesn't cause acute symptoms, so it gets
Sometimes it does.
overlooked. Yeah,
It
well,
can even cause
right.
stomach cancer, yes. But sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it does. But definitely, if you don't see results in the gym, we need to look at your proteins, do you digest them, and of course, at your metabolic syndrome.
Yeah, so here are some of the stressors that you should know about. Parasitic load, yeast. It's in bread. It's in everything. Beer, wine. It's everywhere.
Coffee.
It's in your in my office. Every weekend, I'd come back and I'd clean out the coffee filter, and there'd be mold growing in there, and I didn't even think about it. But I was having huge yeast issues.
Yeah, but unfortunately, yeast and like bacteria like strep and stuff, the baby gets it right from the start. A lot of babies already like born with actual yeast infiltrating their organs. It's it's absolutely amazing. Incredible how you feel after you remove yeast from your body. Yeast is very smart. I actually have a war against them.
Yeah, people are talking about genetics being like a primary attribute of health, and like where your health problems come from, risks that you have to look out for. But you get a second, you inherit a second attribute from your parents, which is really your gut microbiome, all of the bacteria and microorganisms that live in your body. They all come from your home environment, and
Both parents.
are really seeded at your birth and grow with you.
Yes, more from your mother, of course, but because you live in one household and how many you lick the babies, you get the bacteria from both of the parents. And it's so I always say it's not the genes that run in the family. This is a way of thinking and microbiome, and you can change both. So what can you do? Epigenetics tell us we can change our genes. Absolutely. And of course, another one, big one, environmental toxins. Loads and loads and loads, and I say a lot of things when I do check the minerals in the body. When you load it with the right type of minerals that are readily available for your body, the bioavailable for your body, when we load you with minerals, you take less of heavy metals, environmental toxins, because if you don't have minerals, your body just trying to protect you, it's gonna like a sponge soak those metals, soak these toxins, so it could use them as a building blocks or kind of like catalyst. If you don't have minerals, this is what you're gonna get.
So, and as long, these things really start to compile that 8-year cycle where your body is renewing itself. You hit 16, that's 2 cycles. So you're in your past puberty, and your body changes. You hit 24, you're leaving college, your body is changing. And so all of these stressors are adding up. And so people talk about hormone problems and like mental issues that start to come up, chronic anxiety, um, uh, depression,
Yes,
fatigue,
absolutely.
adrenal fatigue.
These factors absolutely affect your neurotransmitters, and all of these, what Chris just listed, it comes from internal stressors. It can be manipulated when we remove everything that doesn't belong in your body. Like, yeah, they did the cool research in Russia, how yeast affects serotonin, it's your leadership hormone, how people actually see you as a leader. But I don't want to
Yeah.
be stuck here too much because
Yeah.
I don't want to take too much.
Ask our host to have us back. We'll tell you all about it.
The amazing studies and how, the biofield of a very sick person, the actual parasitic load biofield overpower your own biofield. So basically they literally hijack your body.
Yeah.
And here's the example of the test. So when we on the left, you see it's looking like a Christmas tree. This is all of the bacteria, opportunistic bacteria. So when you're not immune system not working, which immune system always need minerals. It's not a rocket science. Immune system need minerals to work.
And
then,
our definition of working is a much higher standard of a clinical definition. So your doctor may do testing and say, "Oh, you're doing fine. Don't worry about it." We really look at things a lot harder.
So yes, in the bacteria, these bacteria that you see here, they are opportunistic. So that means they take opportunity to get in your body. It's like gangs of New York, and they're gonna set their own rules. So these bacteria extract a lot more calories than nutrients from your food. And actually, I see this overgrowth of these bacteria with people that have weight loss issues. Like, I promise I barely eat, but I gain weight. I promise, like, I'm not eating junk or crap all the time, but I gain weight. There is a certain bacteria that are associated with the autoimmunity, with your joints that are stiff, with the aches and pains and insulin resistant, absolutely thyroid. So when we remove, you see it on the right, these bacteria, you see the changes, amazing changes that are in the body.
And it's fast too.
Yeah.
So the biggest offenders, beer and yeast. Yeast is a huge problem. A lot of the leaky gut, which is a big problem that nobody's talking about.
Yeah, that's what I said when we look on the microscope on the blood, in your blood. Everything basically, when it's there is toxins that byproduct of a yeast and bacterial activity, it all gets peeled through the microscopic holes in your blood. And within 15 minutes, all of your organs, that blood goes through all of them. And there we come with the endometriosis, polyps, fibroids, prostate problem, erectile dysfunction, the fatigued brain, thyroid problems, all comes from lacking malnourishment, lacking of minerals, and of course, these offenders. And when your body immune system is down, of course, things like glyphosate, this is a huge problem. It's everywhere. It's on our grass, it's in our water, it's in our food. Like, I see people all over using glyphosate, Roundup, right? And it's horrible what it can do to your body.
Well, and they're genetically modifying crops now to produce glyphosate as part of the life cycle so that it keeps the weeds down. Like, you plant the crops and you don't have weeds, but there are actual markers we can look for in your gut that tell us you're eating genetically modified foods. Like, these are proteins and nutrients that aren't natural.
It's interesting. I talked to Krista. I'm like, Krista, you got to stop eating corn. She's like, oh, how do you know? She was like eating Doritos or whatever corn chips.
Yeah,
And she's
Doritos.
like, I just can't stop eating them. I'm like, I know, girl. I can see. It's like looking at the trash can of a house. Like, I know what's going on.
Yeah, so toxic estrogen is a huge problem. And ladies out there, this is absolutely something you have to think about too, because believe it or not, you guys need testosterone too.
We do.
Yep.
This is your finishing
And
tasks. This is you feeling awake in the morning. This is you, I can go and I can be the goddess in my own world. I can take care of my kids. I can do it all. We need testosterone for it.
yeah, and there are a ton of products
And libido, of
everywhere. Of course, one of the biggest ones is fragrances, cosmetics. Yeah, even men's cosmetic products. Yeah.
And
Hair gel
the thing is, your body, so that's what I see on the test. And that's why I say write-up of testing is everything. You go to the doctor's office, you tell you your estrogen is not high, but you don't have to have high estrogen to have problems with it. There are 3 pathways it can take. 1 is a good one and 2 are naughty. It's 16 and 4-hydroxy pathways, and that create problems.
Yeah, so Dutch testing is another test we use, and you can see the aromatase pathways there. Basically, your gut microbiome is converting sex hormone precursors into kind of this toxic form of estrogen.
Yeah, so you see here 16-hydroxy high. This is the toxic pathways. It can cause, so basically testosterone in guys and ladies become estrogen. So that's why guys having man boobs, right?
Yeah,
That's what they call
yeah,
it. And
and
like
the
like
dad bod.
yeah, the dead bod, the belly,
Yeah.
and women like don't have a sex drive, nothing is funny, like honey, like I have a headache, not today, and all of this stuff. And with women, it all turns into DNA damage. It all turns into fibroids, polyps, cysts, problems with your breasts, problems with your period, and horrible problems like with skin and weight.
So detoxing is a huge tool that we use. Intermittent fasting and stuff like that. Sweating, going to the sauna, binder drinks are something we can talk to you about. You can buy them on Amazon, but don't do that. Talk to us.
Well, the thing is with the fasting, it becomes so easy when you go through my program. And the thing is, at first, if you can't fast for more than like 24 hours and you having problems, that means there is a big problem with the liver, and we can heal that liver, and you don't have to be living for food, around your food all the time. And also a really cool thing to test yourself, if you hold your breath, and if you can't hold your breath for more than like 30 seconds, a minute, we're in trouble and we need to.
Yeah, that's another symptom. It's something we need to take care of.
That means that mitochondria, the powerhouse that gives you energy, they're pretty exhausted and everything just start crushing after.
Yeah, so once we reconnect you to the tree of life through these different tools we use, then you can really start to supplement and repair a lot of those problems. It can be tempting to supplement just right away, and lots of people do that. They're taking so many supplements day after day. But like the aromatase, if you're supplementing like testosterone, it doesn't matter. Like it still gets converted to toxic estrogen. So your supplements are actually making it worse.
And other things what I always emphasize, one thing is what circulates in your blood. So these hormones can be in your blood. But the most important thing, what's going on inside of the cell. And I'm a big one that working with the cell, because we need energy in the cell, and we also need these hormones to get inside of the cell. It can be in your body, but if it can't get in, can't use it.
So there are a whole bunch of reasons why, even though we've never had more food available, like our bodies are in worse shape than they've ever been. And one of the tools we use to really identify what's going on is an HTMA test, where we run some of your hair through a mass spectrum analysis in order to identify what elements are actually being absorbed by your body. And so there's a whole host of it. And so supplements.
You forgot to tell me what HTMA is. Mineral analysis.
Hair tissue mineral analysis. And we look at stuff like copper. How many of you know you might need to be supplementing copper, for instance? Like there's a lot people.
Yeah, especially a lot of people know that if you have, for example, problems with iron, and if you're anemic, copper moves iron. And to have good amounts of copper, you not just need to supplement it, you need to make sure that your liver makes protein ceruloplasmin, and it's going to deliver copper to your body, and iron going to be recycled. So you don't, a lot of times you don't need more iron, you just need to recycle it
Yeah.
in your body.
So you go to the supermarket, you've got digestive problems. What do you see on the shelves? You see like rows and rows of antacids. So these are some of the tools that we use, and we've got them here because you can pretty much start using these today. There's no risk. There aren't really any side effects. So you can track down digestive enzymes. So some of these, like bromelain, I don't know if you guys recognize that, but it's pineapple juice. Like there are natural enzymes and there are supplements you can take that really aid your digestion and can give your gallbladder, your pancreas a break and help digest your food so that what you're eating is actually absorbed by your body and satisfying you.
Yeah, you remember that rotten protein? We just need to help our body. It's just that easy. And you know, things like we can train our body to produce hydrochloric acid again. But first, we need to remove.
Yeah. So when you eat right, a lot of people think, oh, I should be eating salads, vegetables, stuff like that. Really, eating is a process. She's got a video on eating like royalty. Like just the way you eat is important. So watch out for that. Shilajit, you've actually been...
Oh, yes, as long as I remember myself, as a little girl, my grandma in her fridge, she had mumio, that's what we call it in Siberia. So I didn't know it's going to become so popular in US. I would start my business like, okay, now I'm thinking like, what else can I bring from Siberian village and make it like a multi?
Yeah, so if you look out for it, this is available everywhere.
Yes,
and it's great...
The shilajit is it's kind of like a resin from the mountain, and it's full of minerals, very important minerals, and it comes from nature. It's probably like ideal combination, and you can find like little pills. You can do the resin, but everybody in my grandma's village knew if you are chronically sick, if you have immune problems, feel like, oh, I just can't do it anymore, you start taking rhodiola and shilajit. And you're like, oh, perfect.
Yeah. And so it does have a pretty distinctive taste. I don't know if anybody's from Australia or has tried Vegemite. It reminds me of Vegemite.
Oh, you can take some.
Yeah, so also water is super important, and not just drinking 4 liters of it or whatever the Mayo Clinic is telling you to do these days. She's got presentations on making your water sexy, that actually drinking ice water is a huge source of stress on your body. And we should be drinking water that's closer to your body temperature.
Yeah, body temperature. And if you have problems with pancreas and liver, you need to drink hot water. You need to add minerals to it. And a lot of times, please don't drink tap water, because sometimes all of these people who taking medications for their for their depression, the pain relief pills. That's why a lot of guys having so many problems with hormones nowadays, because filtration system, they don't filter out other people's medications. Can you imagine when you drink your water, you can be drinking other people's meds, literally.
And bottled water may not be any better. Down here in Florida, we have a brand called Zephyr Hills that's everywhere. You can get it in bottles, jugs, whatever. We tested it. It's got it's tap water, basically.
Yeah, it's another problem with it. Remember when I told about calcification of the cell? Inorganic calcium, inorganic minerals in this water. Sometimes it can be like, oh, this is a spring water, it's good for me. No, it's not, because a lot of these inorganic minerals, they calcify your cell, and the minerals can, hormones can get in, toxins can get out.
It hardens,
this is my favorite.
Hardens your cell membranes, and they can't absorb those minerals we were talking about earlier. So, and this is a mineral we do recommend, methylene blue.
Well, it's not a mineral.
Well, a salt. So it's really blue. 100 years ago, they were giving it to soldiers in World War I for gas exposure. So it used to be a medication. Now it's just kind of a curiosity. You can get lab grade methylene blue, but biohackers have picked back up on it. And so I think it was actually used as like an antidepressant at one time. And you used it as a child without even knowing it.
Yeah, everybody use Cinca. That's what we call it, Cinca in Russia.
Yeah.
Everybody use it in like in the little children. And now, you know, if you read about methylene blue, they tell you do not ingest. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. I've been ingesting it like a lot of old. I used it when I was 2 years old.
Yeah, when he had some respiratory problems.
Yeah.
So side effects include turning your pee blue. That's about
It's amazing for
And-
UTI, ladies.
Yeah. No, out of all the things we've tried, that one in particular seems to have the most dramatic
My
effects.
dad, he had a stroke, so he had problems with like memory and very, very fatigued, tired brain. And he said, this is after all of the medications, everything he tried, like the IVs, he said this was the one who brought the superpower to his brain. He
Yeah,
recovered.
so we're just scratching the surface here and we're going long already, so we're going to move things
Yes.
along. So mind over body. Healing is not just a physical activity, but also a mental one. And so you can unlock physical performance with your mind, but your body also then feeds back into your mental state, gives you confidence, gives you patience, mental endurance, focus. All of these things are really part of the total health transformation
Yeah, I
that we
will always
work
say that
with.
we work with soul, mind, and body, because when you release here, you can release it in your body, and vice versa. When you release it in your body, it's like, ooh, I could do this? Really? Like this is so simple. So it's really that's why I combine these two approaches.
So I don't know how many of you guys get up in the morning and write down your goals, but we have a twist on it that we recommend, which is taking a step back from that list and actually thinking about your ideal future, like your dream destination, where all of your daily activities, where are they going? And when you get there, the question isn't like, what are you doing? Like what actions did you take to get there? But once you're there, who do you want to be? How do you talk? Who do you meet with every day? How do you dress? How do you feel? What emotions do you
The most
experience?
important is the feeling. This is the key. That's why a lot of times I do hypnosis. This is I use rapid transformational therapy. Very cool hypnosis method when we take the old beliefs and they put the new belief in, and it's like it can transform people's lives in like one session. That's why it's rapid transformational therapy. But long story short, the most important part how you can do it through your body is your feelings. So maybe you want to become the owner of a company with 100 employees, right? How do they talk? How do they feel when they pick up the phone? They have totally different attitude. Like who's gonna say no to a millionaire, right? How do you dress? And start having these feelings, that confidence. Maybe talk differently. Maybe go through your closets, throw away all this old stuff. Get the business stuff in, like the attire different. Who are you? The feelings, they're like genie in the bottle. Do you want a genie that makes all your wishes come true? This is your feelings. So how do that person feel? Find the one who you want to be like, that woman, that man, and think about what do they do every day? How do they feel? That is the key.
So, are you ready to start investing in your body? I hope that we've shown you just how important it is and how easy it is, and also that you're not going to be waiting.
It's not a rocket science.
You're not going to be waiting for decades to get healthy. Like, it's not a process of years. Really, most of her clients see huge transformations in the first 2 months. And really what we're doing is we're making your body an asset. So it becomes a source of support so that you're growing. Like everything in your life is growing and you're experiencing breakthroughs instead of setbacks.
Millionaires have
Yeah.
clear mind.
Yes.
And the way to have clear mind, remember that 15 minutes, it's to have clear body.
Right. So, just there are so many different little daily things that you can do to start investing, but really you won't see the fastest results without a nutritionist or a health coach to help you along, especially with testing. You can really nail down exactly what you need to do and draw a straight line from where you are to healthy. And so a lot of the clients that we've worked with over the years, these are just a few of them. A lot of them, some in their 50s, they're exercising but gaining weight. They're dieting but gaining weight. They're going to the doctor. The doctors are telling them they're healthy. Don't worry about it. Turned everything around for them. And so that first month return is really the energy, getting you back to childlike energy, because none of the things you want to do to restore your health are going to happen unless you have energy to work on it. And so the aches, the pains, things you wake up with every day, all of that starts to disappear right away. And so even huge things like genetic issues, you're able to start addressing those with simple changes.
Yeah, shared chromatosis. So it's a big problem in her immune, like you can see here, is inflammation was crazy to go down. The beta glucuronidase, this is all of these things that I talk about, like endometriosis, polyps, when crazy thyroid issues because estrogen blocking her thyroid hormone, all of that got resolved, and secretory IgA, and her immune system, of course. This is like 70% of the immune system is in the gut, and from 630 it went to almost 2000. That means the girl got her immune system back, and that was the main issue. She was chronic, like she was sick all the time, and it's amazing what can change.
So just imagine the next time you get a flu, you're not in bed for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You can get out of bed, you can do what you need to do, you can be at the computer, investing, making trades.
It's absolutely amazing how the viruses that would put you down before, that's how
they're just not a big deal anymore. The second month returns, best body ever. For the last 10 years, I've been bouncing off like 200 pounds. Not very healthy at all. Just this last year, I sold the software company, really refocused on health. And I'm at 150 now, which is a weight I haven't been
since. After my Russian super cleanse, you lost like 20 pounds in 1 week, and they're like, oh.
No, I lost 30 pounds in like 4 days or something crazy. It was wild. And I'm basically back to my body I had in high school. So HTMA testing.
I like the morning.
Yeah. Here again, I mean, we're not just addressing illness. We're really optimizing your health across the board. We're looking at everything. There are markers that tell us, why you're tired, why you're frustrated, depressed.
That's the big.
Why
I can see from the test that thyroid, the fatigue, everything. You see these sodium to magnesium.
Why your hands are too cold when you're at the computer, or you feel hot all the time. I used to go to the gym and just sweat like crazy. Didn't enjoy it at all. I mean, you're supposed to go to the gym. It was just torture. Now I go to the gym. It's no big deal. And so a typical run with us, a typical engagement lasts 6 months, where we're really able to transform you and then lock in those health benefits so that they carry on for the rest of your life. And you feel younger. I think that's a common thing that all of your clients say, they feel 20,
And look,
30, 40 years younger. And it's a permanent, you're turning back that clock and resetting it so that you've actually slowed your aging. All of those gut problems that have been building up your whole life are cleared out, and you've really got that new foundation of health.
and also the business transformations, like they signing up new clients, the Marissa just bought the house, they create a new
Yeah.
business. This is just clear brain. It can go a long way.
So, if I can recommend one decision for you tonight, it is to start investing with Elisa. We're going to take care of your health. And there's a URL down there at the bottom where you can schedule a call. And that call is really the start of you as a client with her. She's going to listen to your concerns, and they don't have to be big.
Yes, it's a consultation, and it's just like we're going to talk. We're going to talk about the goals. And I'm gonna tell you, yes, this is for you. This is not for you. This is, this is just for us to find out that it can be absolutely fabulous, amazing way for you to supercharge your body and your life.
So
and you can find out if it's for you.
Yeah, definitely don't tell yourself something like, I'm not sick. You don't have to be sick. It can be as simple as you can't eat the foods you used to. It's a warning sign, not being able to get out of bed in the morning or feeling drowsy, brain fog, stuff like that. Look at your doctor. Like, when's the last time you saw the doctor? Do they look like they're investing in their health? Do they look like they're taking care of their body, really valuing it as an asset? And if they aren't valuing their body, think about what they may be overlooking for you.
Yeah.
And we're working for you. Like, anything you tell us, we're going to work on it with you. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be a certain threshold to warrant prescriptions or medication.
And the consultation it's a cool way to find out what can be done, and it's free, and it's like we see if you're fit, and we'll go from there.
Well, really, it's gonna pay off.
Yeah. Some
So-
people tell me like,
Yeah, thank you so much for your time. I had a couple of questions come in.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Gentleman, said he's overweight, he's 51 years old, and he has hair issues, losing his hair a little bit. I was wondering if you could help him with those two issues, weight and hair.
absolutely, that was a big issue for me, and it's the biggest. And sometimes we're going through life through the things and we think it's just something wrong with us, but the things can be changed so fast. And this is the problem I deal with all the time, because yes, it's important how we look, it's important for business, it's important for everything. And the weight issue and the hair, it's probably number one, like two in the top 5 that people come to me with.
And
actually weight is like a side effect of we making your body healthy.
The weight loss isn't really a primary thing. We're not focused on going to the gym. We aren't focused on losing weight.
It just happens naturally.
Yeah, it happens naturally when you make your body healthy.
Your body, when we remove everything that doesn't belong and give it what it needs, your body gets into the weight it needs to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have another lady investor that I know, and she's in her 40s, she's 43, and her problem is she's gained weight and lost weight a lot of times. Like she gets really fit, things like that, and then life happens, kids happen, and then the weight shoots up. So she's done that like 3, 4, 5 times, and she says her face and her body is sagging now. And she was wondering that should she see a a surgeon, or should she see you guys?
See me before you try
Yeah.
any surgery. I'm telling you, this is one of my biggest problems too. And the keys here is that, remember we talked about calcification, the insulin. When we normalize the insulin, when we work on that area, estrogen and insulin and testosterone, it's a big for your skin elasticity, how it gets into place again, big thing. So absolutely, and I can talk
Yeah.
to her, and we can sit down together, and we can talk about the attempts to what she
Yeah.
did before and why it didn't work. Yeah,
Absolutely. Before you have surgery, if you're thinking about it or it's been recommended to you,
Yes.
don't do the surgery. Talk
Before.
to us first.
Before.
Yeah, absolutely, because it can cause huge problems and it won't be obvious right away. But
No, it's like, the problem is some of the women come to me after the surgery, and it's horrible what it can do to the immune system. Lots of them develop autoimmunity after the surgery because it's like a last straw. How do you say it?
yeah, well,
last
it's
straw that broke the
camel's
back.
back, the last straw.
So with the surgery, it's got to be careful.
Yeah, and
This is an interesting question I have.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
There's a younger guy,
Okay.
25 years old guy, and he's a good trader. I know him, and these are very sensitive issues that they're telling me because I
Yeah,
didn't know
absolutely.
about him. But these guys are like my family. So
Mm-hmm.
he's 25. He's very fit,
Mm-hmm.
but he says he suffers from gynecomastia, if you know what that means. So
Okay.
male boobs.
Yeah, the breast. Yeah,
So, so that's what
Yeah.
his issue is. He
Goodness,
gets
that can,
deposits
yes,
fast,
yeah,
though he's fit.
yes. And we just
Oh, yeah,
talked about,
absolutely.
yeah, we just talked about.
Yeah, it's definitely something you can correct with nutrition.
You
and taking
remember
care of
we
your
talked
gut.
about that estrogen, testosterone. Remember we talked about that aromatase pathway. It's absolutely, when I look, like,
Yeah.
I'm like a scanner now. When I see this man, I'm like, oh gosh, it can be fixed so
Well, and
fast.
yeah,
I can do this and this, and you're gonna look different.
yeah.
It's like,
And I was going to the gym for the last 10 years, and I've really only started seeing huge changes like the last 3 years.
and
or so.
guys, you're so lucky.
Yeah.
The transformation for you happened like 3 times faster than for us women,
Yeah.
especially with like the spare tire, the man boobs, like
Yeah.
the energy that you don't see. It's amazing. It's
Yeah.
amazing how fast
Well,
it happens
and
with men.
yeah, the sagging skin, we had all that too. It's not a big problem. It takes a little bit longer to go away than the weight, but the surgery is, don't be in a hurry for the surgery.
Yeah.
It can cause other problems.
Oh, and I'm as a woman who had all these. I have all of the. Mhm.
As an older woman, she's 65, and she says she's very fatigued with life.
Mhm.
She
Yeah.
only likes to trade, which is funny. For an hour. a
Like
day.
to
And then
what?
after she
Trade.
finishes-
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a trade, what I do. And then after she finishes that, she has no energy. So
Oh,
she
man.
trades, she makes money, like a couple thousand, and then she just sits in bed. And I'm like, oh my God, when I finish trading, I go to the
Yeah.
park, play sports, do whatever.
Yeah.
She
Well-
sits in bed and just watches Netflix. So she's like, how can I get that extra energy to live more of my life
Oh, yeah.
rather than just sleep all day?
Well, that's something I forgot to talk about tonight, is that you're hooked up with the best supplier of performance enhancing drugs in the world. I don't know how many of you know that, but your body, like adrenaline, dopamine, serotonin, adrenaline, like your body, yeah, these are the peak like all the performance enhancing drugs that people are chasing after out of there. Oh, Joe, I don't know if you guys listen to Joe Rogan, but DMT, yeah.
But the thing is, we need to manipulate her neurotransmitters a little bit. We need like a symphony. We need to get some of the things up, like a dopamine. So there are dopamine mucuna she can try. There is methylene blue. There is guarana. There is like a lot of cool things that I talk about in my YouTube videos. So yeah, just come to me and talk. And sometimes I just like give you a couple of advice. If you're like,
absolutely. Schedule the call down there.
Yeah, what I will do is I will highly recommend you guys please schedule a call with them. I know a lot of them will be booking calls over the next few days. So and last but not least, thank you, Chris and Alyssa, for grace.
Oh, it was a pleasure. Yeah, if you guys.
And I would, I learned a lot today, and I will continue to learn from these guys in the future, and I would strongly suggest you do the same. Thanks so much, guys, for
thank you for having us. Thank you. We had fun too.
Anytime, guys.
All right. I'll see you soon. Take care.
All right.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.